So we're just here with Phill, which is an absolute honour and a privilege. So what we'll be doing is first initially chatting through just the 8-week challenge with him. I'll be going really loud because we're sharing that mic and I need to obviously rebound. And then we'll chat a little bit about where he started from and then also kind of what he's been able to achieve and also maintain. Now, Phill, some quick fire questions for you, and once again, well done with meddling in the 8-week challenge, even with being absent or away for those couple of weeks. Now, for anyone listening or watching, do you need to be fit, strong, or know everything before you start with STM Fit?
No, like when I first started, I could barely get up the hucks and was severely overweight. So, yeah, you can start from anywhere you want and finish or carry on to where you want to get to. So.
Nice. Now, because you mentioned that, and we'll give them a little bit more insight, can you remember what your starting weight was and how long it took you to get up the hucks?
When I first started, I was at about 140 and taking over an hour and a half to...
Was it a sense of relief or a sense of accomplishment when you got to the top?
Oh, the first time I did it, it's when we went for a walk and it's like, oh, this is a nice flat track. I don't know why everyone says it's so hard until you get to the steps, about a K in, and then, yeah, it got considerably harder and my legs knew about it by the time we got to the top.
Okay, now you've actually done really well with kind of segueing to the next bit, which is, look, for someone who's completely new to the gym or completely new to exercise, how should they approach their first 2 weeks?
Just, I guess, do a little bit and do what you can rather than trying to go full noise right from the start and trying to keep up with everyone else. Just, yeah, like when I first started, it was once a week I went for a walk up the hucks. That's all it was. And yeah, you can start once a week, twice, whatever you can fit in and your body can cope with, until it slowly improves and then keep changing.
Thank you. Really good insight. I think quite a few people trip themselves up because they think initially the harder and faster they go, the quicker they'll get the results, but it definitely doesn't play out that way, correct?
No, I found that it was easier to make more small changes than trying to, yeah, like if I went from what I was doing to what I'm doing now, it would have killed me and probably put me off right on the first week, and you wouldn't have seen me on the second week. So, yeah, I guess it's about and it's also what you can fit into your lifestyle. Like changing things doesn't happen overnight, but if you make multiple small changes, it's easier to fit into what you're doing than changing everything overnight and trying to flick a light switch and make it all of a sudden better. So
yeah, thanks, Phil. It's there's kind of almost at the start there's that energy and time like paradox. Like you need to get healthier and to have more energy, but you start at a point where there's probably not a lot of it spare. So it's kind of a case of as long as you make those little steps, it will get in the right direction. And obviously, like, I still remember your start point to where you are now. Like your weekends must look so different.
yeah, and I guess the other part of starting off, I was lucky that when I started there was someone else who I was working with, and we were there to keep each other honest, if you like.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was honest, accountable, and you kind of knew that if you weren't there, they'd be, why are you not there? Or we'll pick you up at so and so and we'll go at that time. So that was the other good part about it, is having someone that held you accountable for what you're doing.
Yeah, nice. And we've kind of answered the next question already, which is really, really good, but we'll do the tail end of it. For a lot of people, and this is just being, I guess, completely honest with it, they might not necessarily enjoy the first bit of exercise or the first bit of training, but after 4 weeks, after 8 weeks, it changes quite significantly for them. It goes from being potentially a drag, kind of getting themselves to the gym, to actually enjoying it. Why do you think that change happens?
I think it's your body adjusts to that routine, and it is getting yourself into a new routine or a habit that your body gets into. And it's like anything, if you try and stop drinking coffee overnight, it's not going to be nice on your body. But if you do it incrementally, and then you get used to it, and that's what your body wants and expects to happen.
Nice. For someone completely new to gyms, why should they try to get to their health and fitness goals at STM Fit, and how does it make it that first bit a little bit easier?
So I guess coming to STM, you can start from anywhere, and you can do it in incremental steps. So it's not about turning up 5 days a week or 6 days a week and doing every class that's here. You can do one class a week. There's different classes through the week that have different amount of cardio or strength depending on what you're aiming for, and that you can start just by, so if you're just after a cardio class, you can just do the one cardio class a week and build from that. And same if you're just looking for strength, you can just do one strength class and build from there and suit it around what you're actually trying to achieve.
Yeah, thanks. And I guess just so everyone kind of has a bit of a indication of the progress side of things. So as you said, starting with one exercise session each week, at peak fitness, what were you able to build that up to, just so people can get a feel for kind of long-term vision?
I was doing 4 sessions a week here, but in between times I would do 3 to 4 runs as well. So on my Wednesday day off from the gym, it would be a long midweek run, and then in the weekend a couple of runs as well. So doing park runs Saturday and a longer run Sunday.
Back around that weight of 140 compared to where you are now, like, did you feel, I guess, a lot older and that there was a lot less energy available? Is there much of a difference between the two?
Yeah, there was less energy, and also being able to do less with the kids, and I guess having them jump up and down on your tummy and go, "Look at your fat tummy, Daddy," was probably one of the driving points. That it's you've got to change, and that was one of the things that it slowly creeps up on you. So.
I absolutely love it for parents, because not only does it help you, but obviously helps the whole family. Like, you're one of their biggest role models by default. And then the other thing is, they won't always have that filter. Like, if you're overweight or if you're lazy, they'll kind of call you out on it. Or on the flip side, if you ask them, "Oh yeah, look, can you go do some exercise?" and you're not doing exercise, they'll call you out on it, which is I think a pretty good thing. Phill, just real quick, would you be able to explain just what a STM Fit kind of boot camp class looks like for someone who's never been in here before?
So you come in, there's a short warm-up session to start, and then there's generally 10 exercises, and then you just work around in a circuit. So similar to circuit classes or whatever you want to call them, they're all the same. You've got 10 different exercises, and you do either a group of 3 or 4 repeats on that exercise, and then move on to the next station, and then that's repeated for the normally 10 stations for the day.
MyZone is very commonly used by the members in here. What does it track and how is it useful?
So it tracks your heart rate and adjusts your heart rate to your work zones, and allows you to monitor that you're doing the recommended amount of exercise each month, and if you start not doing classes or not wearing it, your monthly total goes down, and it's graphed over time so you can see whether you're keeping there or not. And once you get up a few levels into they have a kind of structure of different tiers for rewards of if you maintain your MyZone points each month, and there's that, I guess, my mind determination, you don't want to lose that, and so it's just another way to sort of keep you on track and to keep you honest to yourself, I guess, that you're actually doing the exercise weekly or monthly that you should be doing.
Yeah, because which MyZone medal level are you at the moment?
So last year I went to Hall of Fame, so that's 4 years straight maintaining over 1,300 points. So after a little blip at the beginning and having to reset and start after 6 months, it's like, don't want to go there, and so managed to keep it back. So.
Yeah, well done, Phil. And I guess just as a case of that future vision side of things, back when you were at your absolute heaviest weight and the weight was kind of creeping up a little bit, did you ever in your wildest dreams think that was something that you could achieve?
I guess when I was at my heaviest, I didn't see, because I wasn't doing anything physical and I wasn't doing physical exercise, I didn't see, I guess you don't see it yourself, that you're getting heavier or larger, and I guess I didn't perceive that there was a problem until it was, oh, hang on, I've got quite a bit bigger, and now I need to do something. So.
And you've had some, I remember from our last chat that you've had some really, really, really good compliments. And one of them was when you went down south and saw someone that you hadn't seen for a while. Can you just let us know a little bit more about that?
Yeah, when I was down there, at that stage, I'd lost just over 40 kgs, and they asked one of my co-workers, they said, oh, is Phil alright? Is there something wrong with him? Because at first they didn't recognise who I was, and secondly, that losing that amount of weight does actually change you a fair bit. So, and unfortunately these days it's not always for a good reason that people lose weight, and sometimes they are actually scared to ask you about it. So, it's good that it's been for a good reason, and
Yeah, completely. Almost forgot about that side of things because, obviously it won't always have those positive connotations with it. Whoever is watching, keep in mind they might have tried and failed 10 times before, 20 times before to get to their goal and to keep it long term. What are 3 bits of information or advice you'd give them, guaranteed that they're listening and guaranteed they're going to take those actions?
So I guess the first one is, don't try and change. If you've gone backwards and not got to where you wanted to, don't try and change everything back at once. Like, just go back to changing one thing and succeeding at that, and once you've happy and mastered that change, then make another change, and just do it incrementally. Don't beat yourself up and get upset that you can't get back to 100% of what you had. That it is a road and a journey, and some people take longer to get down that road. Some people can make incremental changes really, really quickly and have really quick success, but don't, if you're not one of those people and you can make one change and you see small improvements all the way, just keep going. Probably find someone else who you can train with, and that keeps the accountability of keeping you turning up and keeping them turning up. And if it's someone at a similar level to you, then you can challenge each other, or it's just that knowing that, if I don't turn up today, they'll ask, where were you today? Or so that's probably another good one, is to have someone that you can train with and holds you personally accountable for being there. And I guess that sort of a third one's probably similar, is that booking in or saying that you're going to be at, I'm going to do 2 classes this week or 3 classes that week, and stick to that routine. And once you get yourself into the routine, it's a lot easier for your lifestyle and your body to accept those things if you're into the routine and turning up.
Yeah, great point, Phil. I think a lot of people undervalue and underestimate the power of routines. And that's probably a big reason why you can't go forth and rush something, because even if all you've done at the start is just build a routine, you can make great steps beyond that. But if that first bit gets rushed and you mess up the routine side of things, I don't see how it'll ever work long term. Yeah. Now, just so we have a bit of a feel for the timeline side of things, so it shows not only have you lost the weight, but you've kept it off for a decent period of time and you've kept exercising. Can you remember what the year was when you were kind of at your peak weight or at your most unhealthy?
When did you open? 2017, 18?
Yeah, must have been 2017, yeah.
Yeah, so that was when I first started coming here, and that was the beginning of the STM journey and the beginning of my journey. So,
wow.
It's been a while, and I'm not at 100% of where I was, but still managing to maintain a reasonably healthy level of fitness and weight. Obviously everyone wants to be a little bit fitter and stronger and healthier all the time, but reasonably happy with where I am at the moment.
And before I forget, and we might roll on with a few questions afterwards, but you're doing something very, very exciting next month, and there's a bit of fundraising involved with that one as well. So Phil, the floor is yours. Take as many seconds as you want, and we'll make sure it gets out there.
Yeah, so the other part of my training is doing different events and using the events to allow me to focus on training to keep a goal ahead of me, I guess, as to why you're putting in all this effort. And the latest crazy one that I've decided to do is the Sky City Steer Challenge. So that's part of the Firefighters Challenge, as we're wearing full firefighting equipment and running or moving as quickly as we can to the top of the Sky Tower. So that's 51 flights of stairs, so 1103 if anyone wants to go up and count them. And part of the cause of doing that is that we're raising awareness and funds for leukemia cancer in New Zealand, and that's one of their major fundraisers for the year. And in the years that it's been running, I think they've raised over $12 million for the Leukemia Trust, and each year are raising just over $1 million for them. So A, it's a good cause, and B, it's a challenge that I can set myself and try and achieve and measure yourself against others. yeah, that's good.
Nice, thanks. And what we'll make sure to do at the very end of the video is we'll put a link where you can quickly and easily contribute to that side of things. A massive thanks in advance for all those that do. I think that's most of the main ones, Phil. I guess just because it has been across as many years as what it has been, and because we definitely find, and this is across industry, for whatever reason, people will sometimes hit very impressive weight loss goals, but it's actually really common for them to yo-yo up to a worse point. Now, I know you've had bits and pieces where there's been travel and all the rest. What for yourself, I guess, kind of five key things that you know you've done to make sure that your weight doesn't go back up to that 140 or beyond?
I guess one of the things, like you mentioned, do travel for work and have done a bit, and ended up even with 3 months away. And the challenge around that was trying to find and get a routine that worked where I could actually do something while I was away. And if you're determined enough, you can always find some form of time and some form of exercise that you can incorporate into your day. And it's about, yes, your routine has changed, but what can I do to keep where I am, and adapt to that, and just accept that you might not be able to train 5 days a week like you have when you're at home and you're only working 40 hours. If you're working 60, 70 or more hours on site, it might only be 2 or 3 training sessions a week, but just try and fit something in for you. It's you've got to look after yourself as well as doing the work.
Yeah, two things I'd just like to touch base on really quickly there. It's like, well done for holding such value with yourself, and I guess not beating yourself up when the week's less than ideal, which is bound to happen. And I think flexible approaches are absolutely fantastic. Like, I mean, you look globally, like all the stuff that's happened in the past 5 years, if you've got a flexible approach, you probably have a fighting chance.
Yeah.
Without one, I mean, steps back are almost kind of a guaranteed thing. Now, Phil, for yourself, other than obviously the Sky Tower Challenge, have you got anything else on the horizon that you're looking to do in the next kind of 1 to 2 years?
Nothing locked in yet.
Yeah.
Always sort of keeping my eye out, and I do enjoy getting out and going running, so that's another one that I guess lucky that you can, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you can run. So that's my go-to if I can't find anything else, is go and find somewhere to go for a run. So, and just need to find what it is for you. It might be going for a walk, or, whatever it is, or a swim, or what your default can be.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Phil. We got heaps and heaps there. Hey, I hope that video was able to help you, and remember, feel free to share it to anyone that may get some assistance from it. At the very end of this video, I will have a link. That is my coach's call link. So if you want to chat further about what we've talked about today, or if you do have a health and fitness goal in mind, very, very, very welcome to make use of that. It's a completely free link. We can either do that over the phone or down at the gym in person.